Okay, I'm going back.
Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I want answers, asshole. Now.
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity, but I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality.
Shit.
And
That
here
sucks.
I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate.
Okay.
Human synths? Really?
Human-like synths. A great distinction. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Man.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth?
No.
At least keeping him on a short
in
leash
his
kept the
ass.
collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute Tech... He never failed the Institute. But his cruelty became more...
Okay.
I won't lie.
I don't care
What
anymore.
else can I say?
Right.
The fucker's dead.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes.
Sure.
The Institute.
Uh-huh. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever. Just give me time. What else can I say?
I think I've heard enough for now.
Very well. You have to understand. The Institute was on the verge of a breakthrough with synthetic organics. They needed DNA, untainted by radiation from the bombs.
Yeah, man.
They found me, rather than...
Uh-huh.
They had no right to take you.
They had no right to take you. You were my son. Our son.
I'm not justifying what they did, just explain.
Sure.
My parents were supposed to be kept in cryogenics, but none was. The program was,
Right.
in a sense, our newest sin, so
Yeah.
the Institute is on the verge
I
of
don't
some
even know this.
important
I've
breakthroughs.
been kissing
Your
Kira.
presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing, and now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yeah, what the hell?
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much.
Yeah, I don't really care. I'm gonna
I'm
just rob
pleased to
y'all.
see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assume that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
Yeah,
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in facilities,
no
Dr.
problem.
Ayo, and finally Dr. Lee in...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, buddy. Or son. Whatever. Ugh. I'm gonna have cold beer. I guess typically I can take off my mask. It's not radioactive down here. Ugh. Ugh. Fall out the breather. Gas mask. Ugh. Oh, man. This feels good. Let's have some new walls while we're at it. So. I'm allowed to walk around,
Sure.
right?
About this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really.
He's dead. Okay, that's a little strange.
It seems like a...
I can understand how... I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future.
I agree.
But I'll admit,
Concur.
do you think you could love him?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
I don't need a synth.
Yes, but I wouldn't claim to know.
Sing it, brother.
Alright, not now. We'll get to that in a bit. I got shit to rob. this actually work? No, of course it doesn't. Why would it? Oh man, civilized. At least I got fucking showers and all that outside. That actually worked. You guys are disgusting.
Damn it, Golden. What the hell is going on down there? I had to convene an emergency directorate meeting because of this screw-up. That synth was a prototype. It was absolutely not ready for field testing. The mess it caused at Diamond City threatens decades of work to keep us out of the spotlight. I will be very clear. My legacy as director will not be tarnished by your division's mistakes. I am going to find out exactly who approved any sort of operation above ground, and that person will be held fully accountable.
Alright. Well, I can screw it. Let's have another beer. That didn't help. Alright. Well, let's have a Coca-Cola then.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase out on these older...
Hey.
They weren't
I know.
kidding. You really
Most
are
of them have
here.
lasted long
Well,
past
all
the
right.
projected lifespans.
I'm Allie.
If you
Allie
ask me,
Fillmore.
they
You can
were
think of
built
me as the
pretty well.
Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water, and
I
provides the
agree.
work we do.
Okay,
might
I
not.
don't
So,
care. I'm just here to scrub you people.
Absolutely.
oh, good to hear.
Yep.
Take your time. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities,
Concur.
Thank you.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
goodbye then. Well, I can't argue with that.
Ugh.
Even so, I'm ready to see the full J3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can send it to
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
Greetings. As the Institute Acquisition Vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
Let's see what
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Have anything that doesn't suck? Okay.
If you're about to launch into one of your missions about artificial synthesis, no, I've had enough of it. But we can't just ignore the synthesis.
Excuse me, Doctor.
You've arrived at a momentous time. Our third generation synths are a true breakthrough. Culmination of centuries of research. It's still
What I've seen so far is pretty impressive.
It's just the beginning, like I said.
Uh-huh. Hey.
I am pleased to assist with the processing of new synths.
You're here. Glad you made it.
Please, step this way for processing.
Doc.
Ah, it's you. You're finally with us. I just like to apologize. They, of course, couldn't be. Most of which I designed myself.
Yes, of course.
Ah, good. Sean is most pleased. If you require anything, as
No. Okay, let's see. Oh boy, I'm going on a robbing spree. Okay, that's the end of this video. See you next time.